Hello there and welcome. Overcoming fear is one of the greatest moves a person can make. First of all, we have to ask ourselves what causes fear. Fear is caused by ignorance, not knowing. And if we're going to go and do anything new, if we're going to break out of a paradigm, if we're going to change habit patterns, we're wandering into an area we've never been. And you know, fear stops most people. You'll find people afraid to talk to a stranger. You'll find individuals afraid to stand up and ask a question in front of other people. You'll find salespeople afraid to make a sales call, afraid to ask for the order. Stop and think of how confining that is. A person is putting themselves into a small cell, but it's in their own mind. The doors aren't locked. They can open, and you can walk away to freedom if you learn to overcome fear. When you face fear, it leaves you. Face the thing you fear, and it'll leave you. That's really the secret of it. In fact, if you hold yourself back because of fear, your life actually comes to a stop, because nothing gets better than it is. You've got to be courageous. Now, courageous people aren't without fear. Courageous people are the ones that face their fear. I think Eddie Rickenbacker pointed that out, the great pilot. Don't let fear stop you. Make up your mind you're going to step out and do it. Stop and think of the number of people that are in jobs that they don't like and they're afraid to leave. Or people in relationships that are destructive and they're afraid to leave. This is a terrible way to live, and it's not necessary. It's just caused by ignorance. And when we step out and do something, we gain an awareness. We develop an understanding. And like that, the fear is gone. Make up your mind that fear is not going to stop you from doing the thing you really want to do. Step out and do it today. It's Bob Proctor. Thank you.
Hi, hello, and welcome back. Congratulations if you're here. Well done. You know, one of the things that I notice doing these trainings every month is that there's only a few that come all the way to the end. So if you're here on day 3, which means that we are on the day that we're halfway through, give yourself a congratulations, give yourself a pat on the back, do something nice for yourself today, because most people won't be here. Most people will not watch the replay. You are one of the select few. However, there is going to be some things that try and stop you. And for those of you that are experiencing maybe a bit of illness, it is absolutely completely normal that as soon as you start to entertain an idea that is different to what you're used to entertaining, an idea about yourself that is different to what you're used to, you are going to come up against fear. We're going to talk about something called the terror barrier today. You will slam up against this thing. And the easiest way for your paradigm, your program, to stop you from moving forward is through this thing called our body. So I want you to look back and think about all the times that you were contemplating doing something that was so far removed from what you were used to doing. So I'll give you an idea. When I was younger, my mum was afraid of heights. I grew up in a family where my mum was petrified of heights. So I didn't want to be afraid of heights, but I was. Because, you know, you're programmed by the environment. We were taught to be scared of heights. Now, there's only 2 fears that we have when we're born. One is the fear of loud noises. And you know this, when little babies hear a door slam and stuff, they go, oh, like they hear that loud noise. The other is falling. Now, I didn't know this at the time. However, I live in Katherine and we have a thing called the Katherine Gorge. So some friends of mine and we decided we were going to go and camp at the gorge and we were going to do the Barraway walk in the morning. No biggie. I knew I had a fear of heights, but I was like, I can overcome this. I'm with a group of people. I'll be able to do this. I am not going to be all by myself. If I was by myself, I wouldn't even contemplate it. The night before we were going to do a walk, and like, it is not like it's a 3-hour walk. It's lucky if it takes you 45 minutes to do this lap of this thing. The night before, I had a very bad case of diarrhea, and I could not do the walk the next day. Fear and my paradigm had controlled my body so that I couldn't do the thing that I wanted to step out and do. It was completely foreign to what I would normally do. And my body, because your program, you got to think 96% of the actions that your body take is programmed in your paradigm, in your program, and it is subconscious. As soon as you try to step out and do something different, you will be like, your body will try and stop you. It's the fastest way that your mind can, and your paradigm can come through, is your body. You'll get a massive headache. Most people that come and work with me in the first week, they will call and say, Polly, I've just got the worst flu, or I'm in bed and I am so ill, or I'm da-da-da-da. They were all, like 90% of them will come down with some illness. We know this. We prepare for it, and that's why we have like a 3-week orientation and coming into the program with us. Because if we just said, right, you start on this day, and if you're late, there's something wrong with you, and da-da-da, like, those people would be feeling pretty bad. We know that this is what's going to happen. So those of you that have an illness or a pain in your body or something, I would suggest, mine's out on the kitchen bench because I was actually reading it. I would suggest you go and find 2 books, and you can just download them on some sort of iBooks or something. But one book is called The Secret Language of Your Body, and we can put these in the chat for you. And the other book is called Heal Your Body or Heal Your Life. There's 2 there, Heal Your Body, Heal Your Life, by Louise Hay. The other ones I'm not quite sure of the author. It's a yellow book. That's all I know. But these will help you understand what is actually going on in your body. Your body is a telltale sign of what you really are emotionally involved with. When you are emotionally involved with a new idea, there is going to probably be a bit of chaos in your body. And we're going to go through this today because most people don't understand what fear is able to do. Yes, fear causes procrastination. Procrastination is a byproduct of fear. Procrastination is inaction. It's not an action. You're just not taking any action, and you're going to understand why you do that. So those of you that were on the call on Monday night on our Zoom and we're talking about procrastination, today you're going to understand it. And those of you that are going to become coaches in teaching how to get through procrastination, what we give you today is going to be an amazing tool to help you get through that. And like I said, this week I'm not going to say, hey, that's all I'm going to give you today and that's all I'm going to give you this week. If you want any more, you've got to come and sign up and work with me. I'm going to give you everything. The resources that we're going to give you this week are going to help you. You will not need to work with us, but you'll want to. Why? Because we help people get rapid results. And when you're doing things on your own, chances are you're not going to step through the fear. When you have a whole community, or even, you think about it, there's this one YouTube, I'm sure you could all find it. Maybe we'll find it. Maggie, put that down as a list. We're going to find this YouTube and put it in the chat and put it in my Facebook group, of a person dancing in this place where nobody else is dancing. They're just dancing by themselves, and people are just looking at him and going, okay, I wonder what he's on. And then somebody else joins, and then somebody else joins, and then somebody else joins. Now there is a tipping point. There is a tipping point of how many people join before there becomes a mass that joins. That's what community does. That's what being with a group of people doing like activities will do. So if you aren't doing any of these activities in a public space like we've given you a Facebook group, which is it's a closed group. It only has people in there that want to progress in their own lives. We very seldom have negative comments in there. If we do, we just kick those people out. They're not allowed to. If people start posting things that are not in alignment with what we do in there, we just kick them out. Don't worry, you don't have to put up with it. And you know what? The best thing I ever learned was what other people think of me is none of my business. And I use that strategy still today because I have to step through fear all the time. You will have to step through fear all the time if you want to get your goal. Because I'll tell you where your goal sits. I've got all these notes here. Here's your goal card, right? There's your goal written on there. Your goal sits on the other side of fear. You cannot get to your goal, if it's a proper C-type goal, without doing some of the things you fear. Now, we have given you the perfect place to overcome some of these fears. And once you start overcoming a fear and overcoming fears in general, you will start to understand how to get them to lose their power over you. Because as soon as you take action towards a fear, that fear can no longer hold you back. It may try, but it will not have the 100% hold that maybe it's had on you in the past. So I want today to be the day. If you haven't posted anything, today's the day you're going to post something. And for those of you that have posted something, I'm going to give you a task to do today, an action to take today that will really help you through the terror barrier. Now, I know people that have done this task that I'm going to set you, and I'll tell you about it a bit later. They've done this task and now they use it as a strategy in their own business. Before they came to one of these trainings, they couldn't do it. After this training, they could do it. Now, if there is fear holding you back, make today be the last day that you're going to let it. Now, there will be times when the fear feels like, oh my God, it actually feels like this will kill me if I do this. It won't. We only fear until we take action. As soon as we take action, the fear disappears. So, procrastination. Write the word procrastination in the chat if you are somebody that is prone or has been the plaything for procrastination at some point. I couldn't get the chat to work in here today. It was, it's a new habit to get it to work. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. It'll work very shortly. So I'm just looking over here in the chat. So if procrastination has been a thing for you, good work, Ellen B5R, beauty, cool. Okay. Procrastination will never help. But if you understood why you procrastinate, and if you could overcome procrastination, do you think you would have a bit more fun in life? How long or how much time does procrastination take up in your life? When, if you decided to be an action taker and you just took action, like within 30 seconds of deciding you're going to do something, how much free time would you have in your mind? You'd have a fair bit. I know, because I've been there. Will I do it? Won't I do it? Oh my God, and you can play around. Just do it. And guess what? It frees you up. So if procrastination's been something you're sitting on, those of you that start to take action are going to feel a whole lot different and a whole lot better. Now, I wanted to talk a bit more about gratitude. I send these out in the packs. You don't just get a gratitude book. Those of you that have got my prizes before, you don't just get a gratitude book. I send you some clean and fresh gold cards that are actually cardboard so that you can get it. I send all sorts of little goodies. I send you things that you can stick around your home to remind you of how bloody amazing you are, instead of buying into some negative story that you've bought into. I was recording a program today. I was doing a few recordings for that, and there's a phrase in the Bible that says, whatever you have gratitude for, you will be given more of. And whatever you don't have gratitude for will be taken away. So it doesn't say whatever you don't like will be taken away. It's whatever you don't have gratitude for. And it doesn't say whatever you really like you'll get more of. It'll say whatever you're thankful for, whatever you have gratitude for. And I would suggest that you spend a bit of time just sitting and having a look around your home or wherever you live. Doesn't matter if you live in a tent, in a car, or in a home, or in a mansion. Start to have gratitude. Because I know people that have had a lot and it's been taken away because they just took it for granted. And then I know people that have had nothing and started a gratitude practice and had a whole lot. Gratitude is a feeling, and feelings are the easiest things that we can use to manifest, which is why I said your goal has to be something you love. If you love something, guess what? You set it free, hey? You just set that, leave it out there and just go, okay, I'm just going to feel this feeling. Another thing we have, and yours is not going to look like this, but there is an emotional guidance scale. So fear on the emotional guidance scale is number 22 out of 22. It is one of the lowest vibrational things in your whole presence. If you live in fear, your body will start to disintegrate. You will start to get illnesses. You will start to deteriorate in many ways. You probably live in a very anxious state, and it's not going to be a fun time for you. So we've got to turn fear into faith. And how do we do that? It's through knowledge. Fear is ignorance. Now you might say, oh, I'm not an ignorant person, Polly. I've read books and I've done this and da-da. That's okay. But if you let fear control you, you're ignorant to what fear actually is. So first of all, Think and Grow Rich. Yes, I've told you about this book. This is the one that you should get, the complete classic text. It's black with gold embossed writing. I want to read you a little bit about fear and the 6 ghosts of fear, or the 6 basic fears. There are 6 basic fears with some combinations of which every human suffers at one time or another. Most people are fortunate if they do not suffer from the entire 6. Named in the order of their most common appearance, they are fear of poverty. How many of you worry about losing money or losing what you've got? Fear of criticism. Worrying about what other people might say. Like I said, it is none of your business. They've all got their own beliefs, and if you don't fit into their paradigm, of course they're going to judge you, criticize you, and say things about you. You are not supposed to fit in. You're supposed to stand out. Fear of ill health. Now these are the bottom of most people's worries, those 3. Fear of loss of love of someone. If I do this, will they still like me? Like I remember when I wanted to give up drinking and I thought, will my husband still love me? Am I fun without it? Like, we bought into this idea that drinking makes you fun. Fear of old age. That just brings a lot of things to my mind anyway. And then fear of death. All fears are of minor importance. They can be grouped under, all other fears are of minor importance. They can be grouped under these 6 headings. So I want you to think about which one of these fears is one of your biggest. And maybe you could write it in the chat. What's one of the biggest fears you have? Is it poverty? Is it criticism? Is it ill health? Are you worried that you're going to lose the love of someone? Are you worried about old age? Like some people say, I just don't have enough time. Like I'm too old for that. No, you're not. And fear of death. You know, it is the one thing that we can be absolutely certain on, that that's going to happen to all of us. But it's only the death of this body that we're in. Our spirit will always live on. And your spirit lives on. You know, one of the things, whenever I'm writing a goal and you know, I'll be honest, some of my goals when I first started were pretty superficial. They were more ego driven rather than how will I feel. And so now I sort of go to the place of, okay, what legacy do I want to leave behind? So my goals now are to help more people rather than the monetary value that goes with it. I don't have goals to buy these expensive handbags and stuff. Like I bought a Gucci handbag once. It cost me nearly $4,000 and I was just like, yeah, it was fun, it was cute. You only get it for that moment, like the moment that you unwrap it, and yes, it looks good and you get the feeling of it, but it wasn't a C-type goal. It was just like a goal that I'd written down. But those things, they don't last that long. I'm more into now of what fills my soul, like what makes my soul feel joy, and it's running these trainings and helping more and more people understand that they can be, do, or have anything that they want. All we lack really is self-belief and knowledge. So if we can move out of the ignorance stage, and look, at that is not a judgment on anybody. I was ignorant of this too. But if we can move out of the ignorance stage and gain more knowledge, and I can help more people get knowledge, then the world will be a whole different place. Because, you know, when we're going after things that we love, and then we're touching our goal card and it's making us feel love, do you think you want to go out and do nasty things against other people? Do you think you are driven by ego just to show, look at me sort of thing? It that all disappears. So I just really like people finding out what legacy do you want to leave with. If I was reading your eulogy, and I've read a couple of eulogies, that's how I started in public speaking, right? Reading a eulogy. But if somebody was reading your eulogy, what would you be known for? And tomorrow I'm going to read you a few things of mine that I wanted not to be known for. They were some of the biggest turning points of my life. Just thinking about, like, when I read my first eulogy, it was my father-in-law had committed suicide, and none of the other family could do it. And I still to this day do not know what made my hand go up. It was just like it was like a puppet on a string, and somebody just raised my hand. I'm just like, fuck, and no matter how much I tried, I couldn't put my hand down. But that was like the turning point of my life. There was one turning point when I was turned 40, and I thought, okay, what the hell is life for? What am I here for? What's the point of this? And then that was back in 2018 when he died, so it's coming up 8 years this year. That was the next turning point, and it was the year after that I sort of found Bob Proctor and started to really understand what life was all about and what am I supposed to be here for. Because before that it was just like, make enough money that you can, buy as many houses as you can, do this, do that, and it was just like I just wasn't feeling fulfilled. And then that's when drinking started to become even more, and I was just like, okay, what is this all about? And so then when I did get into this business, I had to start stepping through fear big time. But once I understood fear, which is, I'm hoping this is the first time that I've done it this way, everybody, so I'm pretty vulnerable here. I want you to really understand what fear is, so that you can stop it from letting it rule your life. And like I said, those of you that have been feeling ill or something doing this work, it's a normal thing, because it's the fastest way that your program can control you and keep you here. Because it's not vindictive. Yes, it is insidious. It's not vindictive though. It's just like, hey, Here, you're safe. And if we keep doing these same things, we know what to expect, and we're not sitting in, I wonder what this will bring, because that can become a fear state for people too. So once I learnt this, I really understood it, and I could just overcome fear. So like I said, I had a big fear of heights, and when I was in 2001, my husband and I went down to Albany in Western Australia, and we were climbing the big kauri trees down there. Kauri trees, whatever they're called. Anyway, one tree you can climb up, and it was 52 meters up, and it's just got, those of you that know steel, it's got bits of Rio rod, so metal that have like ridges in it, and just in a spiral, and then this wire just wrapped around, and you just walk up around in this spiral like holding two pegs and moving your feet like holding it like monkey. And you get to the top, and there's a little cage up there you have a look at, and then you have to come down backwards. I tried to do it back then, but because I believed I had a fear of heights, I got as high up as like maybe the roof of the house, and I looked down and I was in tears. It's like, no, I can't do this. And I didn't know how to step through fear, and all I did was go back down and sit on there and cry and be so dirty at my husband because he kept going. He didn't come down with me. And, you know, I was in that place back then, like, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that. I had all these ideas of what people were supposed to do. And then once I learnt this in 2019, I went down in again, so like 18 years apart, and I climbed that tree. Now, yes, was there fear all the way? Yes, I just had to tell my body it's okay. Like, we're going to have to talk our way through this. Your paradigm talks to you. Like Bob said, it talks to you. Fear will talk to you. The ideas that you've got in your head will talk to you and talk you out of the very thing that you want. We've got to learn how to talk back. And that's what this lesson is all about. So, like I said, I've never taught it like this before. This is completely new for me. So feedback would be greatly appreciated once we're done. Now I just have to move me. There we go. I can move me. I'm getting good at this. Okay. Now, like I said, remember, there's one other thing I want you to think of. On the other side of fear is your goal. Fear is the way to your goal. If you are not in fear at some stage, if it doesn't scare you and excite you at the same time, your goal is not for you. Okay. All right. So let's just think about it. Now, we're going to use the same stick person. This stick person is going to be our friend through this whole training, right? Cool. It's working. I want you to think about here at the moment. Before you came to this, before this week, you had X ideas in your conscious mind, you had X ideas in your subconscious mind, and you had an X vibration that you lived in, and you got X type results. Makes sense, yeah? Pretty easy. Makes sense? Now, this is where, so this is called bondage. And this is not your homework, but you could draw this. This will be fine. Then we're going to move to the next stage, right? So this is where you got to on day one, or maybe today, wherever you're at with this. You've got an X type in your subconscious mind, your body is an X type vibration, and you get X type results. But you have a Y idea. You are starting to think about this goal. You're not emotionally involved with it. You're just thinking about it. Just like, yeah, it could be fun. Could be alright if I did this. Could be alright if I started my coaching business. And I just play around with the idea like, it could be alright that I started a coaching business. Yeah. Wonder what hubby would say. Wonder what this would be. Wonder what that would look like. Wonder why. These are all the questions that went through mine, okay? So we go to here, and this is called reason. Now remember, yesterday I told you that you have a mental faculty called reason, and it lives in your conscious mind. So you're just playing around with this idea. Could it work? Trying to get the picture clear. Then you get to this stage. That's a bit of a funny shaped head. Anyway. This why idea, you're starting to get emotionally involved with it, and you're starting to plant it into your subconscious mind. So you're starting to spend a bit of time with it. You've got a beautiful picture and you're just like, yeah, I really like that. And it's starting to make you feel. It is starting to be implanted into your subconscious mind. Guess what your body is in? An XY condition. What do you think happens? Conflict. You are in a confused state. Will I do it? Oh my God. And you got to think about it. Here's your goal. This is you staying the same. Oh my God, I would love to do this. This feels so good. But what about this? And then you are just going backwards and forwards between the two. No action is getting taken. Procrastination sets in. You are just in a confused state. Now, this happens in a millisecond. As soon as you start to get emotionally involved with that idea, you are just straight away like, holy crap. It affects your central nervous system and it will hold you in its tracks. You come up against this wall. That's a brick wall, everybody. And guess what people do? They bounce straight back and they go to bondage. Oh, thank God. Get that idea out of here. Get that out of here. Let's just go back. Let's just stay here. This is so much easier. It's safer. I know exactly what to do. Da, 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 da. And people do this their whole entire lives. Think of an idea, reason with it, start to entertain it, hit the fear, have their body sit in that anxious state, then straight back. And then what do? They beat up on themselves. They'd start to drink, start to do drugs, start to do like whatever. You probably know, maybe they go shopping and they start to spend more money than they have. Why? Because they didn't step through the fear. It's like a brick wall. And you know, sometimes I have, like, if it was a glass wall, I have slammed up against that thing and just slid down it. But not gone through it. What you have to do is, what you have to do is this. So you have to know the steps, hey? Let's just go XXX. And then we go to XY. Then we go XY. There's the terror barrier. If you take action towards your goal, guess what happens? The why idea gets into your subconscious mind. You start to be in a why vibration. Then the only results you can get are why results. What is the terror barrier for you? What is it? Think about it. What is holding you back? Is it the fear that you might lose the money that you've already got? Is it the fear that somebody might stop loving you? Is it the fear that you might get ill? What were the others? Let's just really get back in here. What if you think about your fears, they're all going to come down to these are the three main ones, but they're going to come down to these six. Fear of poverty, fear of what other people will say, criticism, fear of ill health, fear that somebody might stop loving you, fear of old age, fear of death. What is it? We are going to give you this today. It's going to be placed in the Facebook group and also in the chat. If you're not in the chat, you might need to get in there. Let's explain this. You have a power coming through you. coming to you and through you. It just is. It is not negative or positive. You decide. Now, if you do not learn any more about yourself, if you do not go any further with this information, remember I said consciously competence. You have to do things consciously to get the competence, and then before long you'll be unconsciously competent at things. If you just stay here and go, rightio, Paul, I heard it all. This is so great. I'm just going to go back and just keep doing what I'm doing. That is ignorance. Ignorance leads to worry and doubt. They are in your conscious mind. 92% of the worries that you have are made up in your head. They haven't happened. Both fear and faith both demand that you believe in something you cannot see. So most worries haven't even happened. 92% will never happen. Only 8% are real. And if you only worry about what's in front of you right now, like the things that are already here that you have, maybe like a challenge that you have to get through, can you figure out that you're wasting a lot of time on things that aren't even real? Fear is an emotion. It lives in your subconscious mind. And it is like you create it by entertaining worry and doubt. So you think about it. Kids home late, not home yet, and they're past their curfew. You start worrying. What happens? You create a picture in your mind. You start to get emotionally involved in it. It goes into your subconscious mind. Guess what? It controls the vibration of your body in a negative way. When we let fear take hold, anxiety becomes next. Anxiety is suppressed. You hold it down. You don't come out to everybody, hey, I'm feeling anxious. No, you hold that shit down. And what happens then? You suppress it. Might be writing that word wrong. After you suppress it, what does it turn into? Depression. What does depression turn into? Disintegration. I've had depression. It is not a fun thing. It does start to disintegrate your body. Some people's hair falls out. Some people start to have things go wrong with their hearts. All sorts of things happen. Blood pressure goes through the roof. All sorts of stuff. You can stop it by not being ignorant and getting some knowledge. I will be honest with you. Me learning this information was one of the best things that I ever did. So, how do you get knowledge? You study. You understand. How do you understand something? You take action on it. You start doing the things that you are told to do or asked to do or like suggested. You don't have to do all this stuff. If we suggest something to you, it's for your own good. Because otherwise, if worrying about things and doubting your own ability turns into fear, we already know that that's not a very good place to be living. When you understand, it turns into faith. What happens when you've got faith? You've got well-being. There's no worry. There's no doubt. There's no anxiety. You feel well. You can look after yourself. You feel amazing. Guess what? You don't try and hold that in. You express it. You smile. You're happy. You look after yourself. You get dressed up. You take some care of yourself. What does that do? Accelerates. You want to do more and more. And then You are at ease. You're calm. You're happy. You allow life to unfold. You become the creator. And you're creating positive ideas. Isn't that a much better place to live? Fears have kept you safe up until now. From this moment onwards, they're no longer needed. Now, does that make sense? I'm going to share with you. No, I forgot to set it up. So I am just going to share something with you. I want you just to watch this. Oh, wrong one. One moment, sorry about that. Let's watch this. Oh.
Skydiving is a really interesting confront with fear. So I gotta stand up. You go out the night before and you take a drink with your friends and somebody says, yeah, we should go skydiving tomorrow. And you go, yeah, we'll go skydiving tomorrow. Yeah. And you go, yeah. And everybody goes, yeah. And you go home you by yourself, you're like, Right? You're like, well, I mean, they was drunk too. So then that night you're laying in your bed and you just keep, and you're terrified. You keep imagining over and over again jumping out of an airplane and you can't figure out why you would do that. So you get there and then you have this safety brief and you're standing there and the guys will tell you, well, if the chute doesn't open, what's going to happen is well, why the hell, what could happen? So you get onto the airplane and you're sitting there and you know, it's extra because you're sitting on some dude's lap, some stranger, trying to make small talk. Yeah, man. So you be jumping with people all the time, huh? So you fly and you go up to 14,000 feet and somebody opens the door. And in that moment you realize you've never been in a freaking airplane with the door open. Terror, 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 terror. And then people start going out of the airplane. And the guy walks you up to the end of the thing, and you're standing and your toes are on the edge, and you're looking out down to death. They say, on three. 1, 2, and he pushes you on 2 because people grab on 3. And you fall out of the airplane, and in 1 second, you realize that it's the most blissful experience of your life. You're flying. There's zero fear. You realize that the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. The lesson for me was, why were you scared in your bed the night before? What do you need that fear for? Everything up to the stepping out, there's actually no reason to be scared. And then in that moment, all of a sudden, where you should be terrified is the most blissful experience of your life. And God placed the best things in life on the other side of fear. That was my experience with skydiving and fear.
All right.
Ain't no time.
Sorry, I didn't mean to press that. Has anybody here ever skydived? I did that. That was another thing I did to overcome fear and to actually look fear in the face. the more that we start to look fear in the face and do the things that we fear, then the more we have freedom, the more we have control over our lives. You control it all. At the moment, though, maybe a lot of you are letting the ignorance, the worry and the doubt of things that haven't even happened yet. Like, you think about how much was Will Smith making up stories that haven't even happened. What if I fall out? What if the chute doesn't open? What if this? What if that? Blah, blah, blah. Like, none of it's even happened. That's why 92% of your worries have not even happened and will never happen. So why should you worry about them until they do happen? Your job today will help you step through that fear. And it's my wish for you that all of you do this. But let's talk about faith first. What is faith? Faith is a feeling. It is a knowingness. All of you have a device that you're watching this on, whether it be a phone, a computer, a laptop, an iPad, whatever. None of you are sitting there wondering how you're going to get that. You're not wasting any time on how you're going to get your phone or your laptop or how you're going to watch this. You've already got it. That's exactly the same feeling that you've got to have about your goal, like you already have it. I was just on the phone with somebody not long ago and they were like, da 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 da, and I said, hang on a moment. What would you be telling me if it was already here? Oh, fucking hell, Polly. This was so cool. And I'm like, hello, that's what you should be doing. But it's not true. Yeah, not yet. But it's never going to be true if you keep telling that story. Have a look at what you talk about. Are you in that place of absolute faith? Remember, faith comes from knowledge and study. Everybody has to overcome fear. I sometimes say that you should borrow the feeling of faith. Look, I want you to know this. A lot of people say, Polly, I just borrowed your belief in me in the beginning because I did not believe in myself. I know that all of you are not hitting your true potential. I am not hitting my true potential. I'm always looking for areas where I can grow and see myself differently and find things that I'm afraid of doing so I can do them. Knowing that when I overcome the fear and do the thing that I'm afraid of, then I'm going to have the growth, then to be ready to have the next step, the next step, the next step. But if I'm not taking action on my fears, what am I doing? I'm standing still. And I did not come this far just to come this far. There's no way in hell that this is what I want to be for the rest of my days. Yeah, it's quite comfortable. I didn't come here to be comfortable. I came to leave a legacy. I came to help as many people as I could. So if I stop doing these trainings today, I will not feel fulfilled. What makes you fulfilled? What do you want to feel fulfilled in? Like, have a think about that. Like, what fills you up? It is going to be helping somebody. It's going to be serving somebody in some way, because we get the most joy out of giving gifts, out of giving compliments, out of seeing people smile, out of seeing people grow, seeing people overcome their fears. These are the things that we love doing. That's why people love training other people into jobs and positions. I love having apprentices come through our company and growing people. I was talking to Claude the other day and she's like, Paul, I want to start my own business and I really don't have time to be a limitless lady anymore. And I said, Claude, I grow people. That's what I do. It's time that you go. It's okay. Just go. It is the most amazing feeling in the world, helping people achieve. And that's what most of the positions in life are for. If you think about it, if you own a shop, you're helping people feel better because they buy this to feel better, and it's going to increase their living, their livingness, the betterment of their lives. So if you want, you can borrow my belief in you. I know you can do whatever you put your mind to. You can be, do, and have absolutely anything. And if you don't believe in yourself, borrow some of mine. I know that you can. And I know that you can be more effective. You can be more productive. You can be more loving. You can have more gratitude. There is, like, your feelings for the good things is infinite. You can always be feeling more and better. Another thing you can do is practice faith. Find something that you do not have any doubt about. I use the sun coming up. I have no doubt that that thing is going to go to sleep tonight and it's going to come up tomorrow morning. No doubt. Do you? Borrow it. Borrow that feeling. Okay. All right. How does that no doubt feel? Feels free. Feels easy. I don't question it. I don't have to try and figure out how. We've been taught how. Maybe a few thousand years ago they didn't know how. They thought the earth was flat. So anyway, it still could be flat. Who knows? But think about it. What do you have absolute faith of? Borrow it. Borrow that feeling. Put a bit of that into your, like, when you are feeling that, like, you just get to that place. Okay. Oh, that feels easy. That feels free. Yeah, okay, cool. The sun's coming up tomorrow. Now think about my goal and start to incorporate that feeling of free and easy, and I already have it, no doubt. Absolute faith into it. And then start to infuse it. Each time you touch that goal card, it should bring a feeling of freedom. You didn't create this goal to make life harder. You created it so you could feel more free, feel more fun, feel more love, feel more empowered. That's what you have to do when you touch it. You have to feel those things and have absolute faith in your ability, because you cannot get a clear picture on something you can't have. You cannot want something so bad that if you can't have it. You can only want something and desire something you can have. God didn't do that to you. He didn't say, okay, I'm going to make you want something you can't have. No. You can have it if you can get the feeling of it. Spend some time with this. And look, I would tell you right now, if you don't have somebody helping you understand all of this, find somebody that does. Find somebody. You know, the answers to in this book, the answer to the secret is other people, specialized knowledge. I will never be without two coaches. I have a coach for mastering this thing called my mind, because my mind controls my body. So if I don't control my mind, I have no control over this bloody body. So if I don't understand how this is integrated together, we call that praxis. If I don't understand how they integrate and work together, then how can I control this body? So I always have a mindset coach. And then I also have coaches in the area that I want to improve. So if you want to improve your body, you get a coach or your personal trainer. If you want to increase, like, work on wealth, like at the moment, I've got a wealth coach. So I'm working on creating like generational wealth sort of thing so I can pass it down. I don't know how to do it. And I don't want to go and do the study and become somebody. I want somebody to fast track me. So I go and find the specialized knowledge. If I wanted to learn how to do Facebook ads, I would go and find the person that has specialized knowledge. I want a scholarship, so that was even better. But like, once you know what you want, you will attract everything that you need. But figure out, what do you need? Do you understand your mind yet? Do you go to bed at night feeling, okay, I have absolute faith that I can do this. I'm going to take action. Because today's action is, I want you to go and do a Facebook Live in my Life by Design group. It's a safe space. I've already told you that. It's a safe space that we can all do these things in. We do them every month in there, and we're all going to encourage you. I'm going to be in there. I'm going to be sitting in there now waiting for you all to do it. You're going to go in there and you're going to do a live, and you're going to say what you've learned over the last 3 days, and you're going to do a live that has to last for at least 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Come in, introduce yourself. I've been doing Create Your Own Reality with Polly, and this is what I've learned. You may have to write down a few notes for yourself. That is perfectly fine. But you're going to do a live. Now, that can be a whole big scary thing. I know this. I told you, it's my first live. I couldn't do it. I did a recording. And then, if I've had 2 or 3 weeks off, and I haven't done a live for a little while, I'm afraid to touch that button. Like the whole thing, like, what are you going to say? You're a bit out of practice and da-da-da-da. Like this paradigm is going to talk to me. I'm just going to say, shut the hell up. I don't know what I'm going to say because I don't have plans when I go in. I'm just like, okay, I wonder what people need to hear, and I just let it go. But I've had practice. I've been doing this for 7 years, so I can practice. Like I've got practice to be able to do that. You may have to have some notes in front of you. Just put some dot points. Don't try and read a script because that'll be even harder. But get in there and do a live. Now, if you are somebody that does lives all the time, do it on your personal page and tag me in it. And if that's, you're like, oh, well, that's not really that hard either, Polly, then go and do the thing that you've been procrastinating or putting off, or that you've been afraid to do, and then come and tell us in a live what you did. They're your options. Now, before I tell you to go with that, we've got some winners, right? So winners of yesterday are doing yesterday's homework. Now, all of you will get one of these beautiful gratitude books, and if you've had one before, you can gift it or you can hold it onto it, and then you'll have a stockpile. Make sure you write in it, Sylvia. You can write in these things if, like I think I've sent you one, you can write in it. They don't have to stay beautiful like this and clean and everything. You know, it's like money. If you just put money in the safe and you're not allowed to touch it, it's not in service, it's not in circulation, so you're not going to get more of it. Like, understand when things are used for the purpose that they were built for and made for, then you're always in service, you're always in circulation. Okay, the winners, and thank you so much for doing this work, and I bet you feel good doing it, even if we did give you some criticism and feedback and say, hey, it's okay, but like, let's change this or take this way. It's for your own benefit. So get rid of that fear of criticism. We are here to help. Okay, so the winners are Trudy Muller, Kylie Hutley, Adrienne Francis, Anne Pedersen, and Shay O'Flynn. Now, Shay is one of my Limitless ladies, and I haven't sent her a prize before. That's why I chose her today, because I thought, I haven't sent you one for a little while, Shay. I'm going to send you something. Thank you so much. They are the winners. So now your job is to figure out how to do a live. Now, somebody, I'm sure we've got videos to teach you how to do it. And if you need a bit of help, ask in the WhatsApp chat. Say, how do I do a Facebook Live? We'll help you. You got to get to it. Okay, I'm going to get straight into Facebook, and I'm going to be sitting in there waiting to encourage you and say hi to you as you do them. Are you ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.